Just some talk therapy. I'm not asking for your empathy or sympathy. Part of the trouble with being an empath is sometimes feeling too much and being considerate of other people's feelings and where they currently are. As a general rule of thumb, I try to approach everyone as if they're ill and imagine what they would or wouldn't want to see. Being considerate. So, I'm not going to get all explosive here. I did not sleep very well last night. It's only like the second time I didn't sleep well since moving in here. First time was because the heat air conditioner broke down, and last night I had a coffee late, like 6 or 7 p.m., which kept me up. I'm not reading any books right now, although I do read scientific articles every other day that I can, that some of you send me. And I just wanted to talk about the hopelessness and despair in America. I know everyone's got their own set of problems and family issues, and I mean, some people just want to move out of their own house. Young men and women can't even move out, and start their life because cost of living is so high. And I know this has already been covered in Mark Fisher's Capitalism Realism, a book he independently published, I believe, or was it another publisher? Anyway, I read a chapter or two of it, and he's essentially saying the same thing. The grinding toll that this system that we can't imagine a better way of takes on your mind, men and women. Whether you're working in the factory, tire shop, you're trading in your labor and time, sacrificing so that you can survive. And we all agreed to this system. And certainly there are people out there in the world that think, oh, well, if you have money problems, then it just means you aren't financially responsible. Well, excuse me, inflation is at its highest point in 40 years. And real wages have barely risen in the past decade. So I just am through with debating with people, on a nearly daily basis about facts and reality. You just can't convince them. It's like people are really mentally ill, you know? And I'm not offering solutions or trying to prescribe some kind of revolution, even though I do believe that that is what's required to overturn the system, at least in the short term, to benefit the working class, which has been sold out. And like I said, most days I'm fine. Most days I have hobbies and I exercise nearly every day. But some days I just, it takes a toll, I go into restaurants, see fast food especially is the worst, and see much older men and women and young men, all people of all ages slaving away. It's depressing. It's depressing that we've been reduced morally, financially to just cogs, literally. And this is nothing new. This is nothing new. But it all just comes so much of a swifter blow when you have a failing presidency, no seemingly good candidates or solutions, an entire generation of people, sold out. People between the ages of, let's say, 28 to 45 have gotten an absolute raw and shit deal. While boomers are riding around the country in RVs, and Gen Xers, many of them, got the last taste of a stable economy and society, for that matter. It really isn't that surprising when you see as many shootings and homelessness. Nobody says very many people. Some days are better than others, but overall, it's a poor rating for our social cohesion. I'm not impressed, and you guys know this. It's no surprise that there's shootings, robberies, and so on and so forth, and you could say that's always been happening, but it's been on the rise, and statistically, police ambushes and all acts of violence, unnecessarily, are up. And when you stress an entire generation of people out, it's no wonder. I really don't blame young people for getting out in the world and feeling hopeless and like, well, what should I do? And you're just, and if you do choose something, you're just fooling. You're just giving you're in a disillusion, and that's fine to be happy.
or whatever.
So we're in a real pickle. I just want to be comfortable, peaceful, as best as I can be. With this inflation, it's causing me to think about changing industries. But then again, I see no hope or future in or society or even knowing what is approaching by the end of this decade. I'm struggling to find motivation. Like, maybe I should go into another. What actually pays a living wage? Can I find a job that actually pays me more than $15 an hour? That it isn't mind-numbing 9 to 5 Amazon warehouse hell house work? Something that's really rewarding, gives me integrity. That's the question. What can I do left that gives me integrity? And the reason why I've been doing what I do so long, 6 years of doing gig delivery work, and some years I make less than $25,000 a year for a 30-something-year-old, is because nothing else has integrity, or is even going to last that long, considering we have a few more years left. And all of you voted that we'll have a BOE, Blue Ocean event, or it'll be so low that it'll be basically considered a BOE, and it'll be on the rapid decline every year after that by 2024. So knowing that the end is near doesn't make all this any easier. It just oftentimes makes it more frustrating and depressing to see as many homeless people, rude, ignorant people that won't even believe a clue of what you're saying. That won't even follow it. And like I said, I live in Disneyland, okay? It's everything is here in bottles that I can spray on and shove in my gob. Convenience at the rest of the world's expense, while many places suffer extreme drought, loss of life, war, economic hardship. Like, we're all tied into this giant snowball running downhill. That's the feeling, right? That's what I'm trying to convey here. Is that no matter if I pursued academia or anything that I think would bring me integrity, none of that brings me joy. Labor doesn't bring me joy. It doesn't make me happy. I don't look forward, to exchanging my time out for higher gas prices. Everything is being offset. We made no gains in the pandemic. So I guess I'm just venting that some days, I get blue and I feel the enormity of the awfulness that we are surrounded by. And it's so easy for people to say, especially my girlfriend, she has better chemistry than I do. Brain chemistry. She's generally happy and go-getter all the time. She hardly ever gets introspective or blue. But again, I don't think she's an empath like I am. Well, quite to the extent. She's certainly talented and intelligent, but sometimes other people's emotions and feelings, I have a friend that's suffering with near chronic pain, and along with my girlfriend has a friend, and it's is all this really necessary? Where was this utopian society where it was free, fair, and equal, when we graduated? Where was that promise that was supposed to be delivered? Yeah, like I said, there's way much bigger problems in the world. I'm just melancholy. The grinding of this system, the effect that the toll that it plays on you, and cutthroat capitalism against everybody else. It makes people vicious and nasty, and our society is destabilizing radically. I can't say that I don't feel extreme anger when I see a very well-off Gen Xer or boomer sitting with his younger girlfriend or wife and their child eating out. One would say, "Oh, you should be happy for them." It's no, I haven't seen that opportunity. And you think, "Oh, well, haven't you applied yourself?" Yeah, I've applied to hundreds of jobs, okay, in my 20s that there was no reason that I couldn't qualify for, like I said. And this isn't about jobs and money, and I really think that money is evil. And that's another reason why I avoid working so hard. It's a weird dilemma. It's I don't want to work because money is literally perpetuating the entire broken system, and furthermore, the agenda of New World Order, net zero emissions, and the fact that 90% of people don't even know what, in America, okay, people, I'm speaking Westerners, know what like net zero even is. It's a heavy weight. It's a heavy weight to bear the knowledge of abrupt and irreversible climate change, of skewed any unequal society and economy, looking at the data. I guess I'm a little insane sometimes. I know you guys. I lost a subscriber with my doom ammo video, but like, I'm just trying to have fun. I live in the South. At least elude myself that I'm living this experience. I didn't ask for any of this. Neither did any of you. And what a miracle it is that you little miracles, all the molecules in the universe formed me to have this experience. And it should be a pleasant experience, but I can't say it has necessarily been that. With the combination of familial trauma that was unaddressed for years, famous people have gotten sick. It's not that I don't care anymore, like I'm throwing my hands up. I think I maybe need a vacation more than anything. But can I even afford that? I mean, and for how long? Like, how farther can I be set back? And the fact that, one more thing, that credit cards aren't, the rewards points are only designed to like help rich Americans, and everyone else gets screwed out. I mean, clearly I'm not paying any of my credit card bills back. Most everyone I talk to who knows about abrupt climate change is aware that we won't have a functional society by in this decade. And though us doomsayers are often ridiculed, and it's just horrifying, to go through that experience, is to feel alone in what you feel. Noam Chomsky gave an address to the UN and said that essentially the same thing, and the doomsday clock might very likely get moved up next year. Not that that matters, but it's just an indicator that. And one more thing, you should find a sense of community. That's where people go to church and they find a sense of community. Clearly I can do this online here and talk to all you great people. Streaming is a lot of fun. Streaming is great fun. Everyone enjoys it. And y'all hang out with me for like 2 hours, which is of your time, which is incredible. Just a venting, ranting video. Some days, the weight of all of this, and also my partner said that, well, you can still go out and meet and talk to people. You're still like in your early 30s, and like make friends or whatever. But it's like, she's like, there's more to talk about than the temperature, than like charts and data. But it's like, once you know this information, what else is even remotely important? I could fool myself and ask. It is about putting the energy forward to get the energy back. If I'm nice to other people and ask about their life and what they're up to, they might do the same to me. But I'm over here just trying to live with integrity. I'm not trying to sacrifice the remaining time of my life, not just my life, but the planet's life, exchanging my time out for labor. You know what I'm saying? That seems like an unwise use of time. Like, pretty much every job feels like this. As an example, I was at a Mexican restaurant the other day. A young couple and their friend sat next to me. He had a complete sleeve arm tattoo, pretty trendy, cut jeans, black shirt, like something vintage. Maybe he was 28, maybe he was 35, maybe he was my age. He was young. Okay, he wasn't past 40. And exasperated and exhausted, stressful about talking about a work project where he's helping measure and do building designs for like 3 new buildings here in town. And I looked over to him and I said, look, here's the global temperature. I showed him a chart and he says, wow, that's hot, or it's getting hot. I was like, yeah, we're in runaway climate change. You're wasting your time. I don't know how much more fucking clear I gotta be with people. But that's not the frustration. Like, it's stupid to beat my head over the wall to try to convince people or talk them into logic and reasoning. Or you can't even find the time to sit behind people and talk about this. I'm not trying to form a cult. I'm not trying to like do anything. I'm just sharing my frustrations. And I got up and I said everyone will be dead in less than 20 years. And I marked my words and walked out. And my partner suggested, well, what do you suggest he do? Well, I certainly don't think he should be stressing out and using the remaining years like in stress. You know, it was a gentle reminder that like, hey, time is short. Not just like literally, but literally. And all the people just destroyed with college debt in my generation, they're paying off thousands of dollars for no fucking reason. Everything is profit. The housing market was propped up to make profit. Inflation is high. These are not good times in America. The president has a 33% approval rating. Trump might rerun again. You know, and you have people driving around here with American flags and the police flags. It's like they're hooked into some, it's fascism. It's like, it's made up. It's a construct. Even though like we're the worst country in the fucking world in terms of carbon emissions and historically long term, and the amount of wars that we propagated and got involved in, how we treat our poorest. Some people just walk around with blinders, but I choose to be completely open and aware to all this stuff because it frees me. For the most part, it frees me. But some days, like you guys, I really struggle with, burnout. Can you say burnout? All right. I'll keep putting out good content, whatever comes along. I'm going to go meditate, finish my morning, and put one foot in front of the other. Just one foot in front of the other.